Okay, Wednesday, June 10th. Back when I was in Boy Scouts a long time ago, one of the things we would do as we were leaving a campsite, with time to clean up, time to go home, one of the things we would do was we would police the campsite. What that meant is we would go around, we'd look to see if there's anything left behind, bits of trash. So we would all just kind of scour the area and make sure that everything was as pristine as we could leave it. We're going to restore the natural state. Now that notion of policing is very different than what we're talking about today when we're talking about policing. A couple of years back, a friend of mine who was part of a community of folks who had come together over the protests in Ferguson, who had identified themselves as people who were out there in the streets at night protesting. Within that community of people, actually it was a community of communities, there was some folks, one person in particular, who was behaving in a way, was abusive to other members of the community, abusive almost to the edge of being criminal in behavior. But they're not going to call the police to come in and protect them. That was in fact, one member of the community at some point did speak to the police, and that was sort of like this huge violation of the norms of the community. We don't go to that institution for help. But in talking to my friend about this, I referred to what they were looking for was a way of policing themselves as a community. And that was like the very fact that I used the word police was just shocking. She couldn't even hear the rest of what I was saying, because police was so identified with this harmful force in our lives. And for her, it was really rooted in her historic understanding of police in the US as coming from the slave patrols of the South. That was like the first really institutionalized policing that happened. And so police means oppression of Black folks, enslavement of Black folks, and a willingness and ability, a legally sanctioned even mandate to do things that would be harmful to Black folks. Well, this morning in the news, we're hearing about defunding the police, or what are we doing for the community, for the purposes of public safety? And a lot of what we're asking our police force to do are not things that they are trained, equipped. It's just like, in the absence of anything else, you turn to the police. And so we're asking police to do things that they can't do, and certainly are not going to be able to do well. And so they are, in fact, burdened. They are actually themselves being oppressed. Some of you are going to react to the whole idea that police are oppressed. But they have responsibilities that they do not have the training, ability, equipment to do. And so they use what they have. They use what they've been given. They use tear gas. They use tanks. They are a militarized force because that's how they've been equipped. The rest of us in society need to take responsibility for the fact that we have not equipped our police, as a noun, with the tools that it takes to police, verb, a community in a way that actually creates the safety and the security that we need. When we frame this as an us against them, as a binary, police are good, police are bad, which is what we tend to do, but when we do that, we framed the conversation in a way that's decidedly not helpful. We really need to be able to see the whole system. How do all of these parts, how do we deal with the mental health of people who are homeless? The police are not particularly well equipped to deal with that, but who else is there? So we collectively have to take responsibility for the fact that we have not created the shared structures that are actually going to create the society that we need. My hope in this moment is that we've clarified what it is we are in fact trying to create, and that we're not able to do it well. And so we're going to build the institutions that are actually going to work for us. All right? Let's be safe out there.